Hello guys, my name is Val and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'd like to show you how to use one of my PowerPoint lessons called Fables. This lesson is designed for grade 6 to 7 students, and it introduces one of the literary genres, the fable. In this lesson, students learn what a fable is, look into the 4 elements of the fable, listen and analyze the story, The Wolf and the Lamb, and do a few reading comprehension exercises. So in this PowerPoint walkthrough, I want to show you how to use this PowerPoint lesson. This lesson works together with another of my lessons called The Raven and the Swan. And I put these lessons together in a bundle, which you can buy in my shop on Teachers Pay Teachers. All the links are in the description below. So I hope you're going to enjoy this video. And if you like what I do, please leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and hit that bell icon to turn on the notifications so you don't miss a single upload. Have a great day. Enjoy the video. Thank you. Hello again, and let's take a good look at this PowerPoint lesson. As you can see here, it contains 57 slides, and let me show you how you can use it. So let's start. This is the beginning of the class. The music is going to set your students in the mood. All right, this is the usual stuff. You can insert your photo here and you can change the name to your name. Then you put your students into 2 teams. You can choose any team name that you want. And then the usual stuff, the class rules, you've seen it in my lessons, so I'm going to skip it quickly. So we don't need to repeat it again. All right, here you ask your students to get a pencil and notebook ready because you want them to take notes. And this is the beginning of the class. So you're gonna say, hello, my name is Aesop. Today we will talk about fables. And as you can see here, the name is highlighted and underlined. And this is something to help you so you know what to do. So you can click on the word Aesop to learn more. This word is hyperlinked, so it's going to take it to the slide where you can learn a little bit more about Aesop. So let's do that. Let's click on the link. And yeah, we are on the slide where we can talk a bit about Aesop. You can tell your students that Aesop was a storyteller. He lived about 2,500 years ago in ancient Greece, and his favorite story to tell was a fable. And in this video, your students can see where Greece is, and you can actually have a short discussion with your students if they know where Greece is and what they know about this country. Also, if you take a look here in this corner, you see the home button, and it means then you need to click on it and it's going to take you to the slide you came from. So let's just do that. All right, so it took us to the slide we came from, and we can go on with our lesson. What is a fable? You're going to ask your students, and maybe you can get some responses from them. If they don't know what a fable is, you're going to explain it to them. You'll tell them that fables are stories which usually use animals to teach a valuable life lesson. And here's the next question. This lesson focuses on the elements of a fable, so you're going to ask your students, how many parts does a fable have? First, do not show them the answer, but try to elicit the responses from them. So they can just give you a number, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts, 7 parts, whatever. And then you're going to click next, and they're going to see that the fable has 4 parts. And here again, a little hint for you. You need to click on the speech bubble to learn more. So you can click on characters and you're going to learn about characters. So let's just do that. So let's click on characters. And it's going to take you to the slide where you can learn about some characters in Fables. So here you can say that some characters in Fables are animals. How many animals can you see? And do you know if they're called? And do you know what they're called? Some characters in Fables are objects. Animals and objects in Fables think and talk like people. And some characters in Fables are people. The stories told by Fables are usually very simple. To understand a fable, the reader or listener does not need to know all about the characters, only one important thing. And this one important thing is a feature or quality that belongs to an animal or a person or place or thing in a fable. And then you give them examples. For example, I am noble. And noble means whatever it is in your language. By the way, since I teach in China, my translations are in Chinese, but you can easily change it into your own language. Yeah, and here this sentence actually explains the meaning of the word noble. So you can ask your students to read it to you. I am proud. Animals in Fables think that the peacock feels that he's better and more important than other animals. And I think this part is good if your students want to learn some personality traits. So you can go through these slides. They can write down the new words and their translations in their notebooks. So let me show you what animals I have here. Yeah, let me do that quickly. And you do it until you see the home button, which is right here. It means that you need to go back to the slide you came from. So let's click on the home button and we are back to our elements, fable elements or parts. Now let's click on the setting. And here we learn what the setting of a fable is, or what the setting means. It means the time and the place in which the story happens. It can be a village, a farm, the forest, or a city. Again, don't mind the translations. If you don't like them, you can just remove them in your PowerPoint. It's very simple to do. Here's the home button. Click on it, go back. Plot. Let's click on plot. The plot is the story of a table. The plot answers the question, what is it about? Let's go back and finally the moral. Each fable ends with a moral. The moral is the lesson that we learn from a story. You can use the word moral or you can use the word lesson. The moral is the most important part of a fable because it helps you understand the difference between right and wrong. And here you can show your students some examples of the morals from the fables. Never give up. Clothes do not make the man, and be happy with what you have. You see the home button? So let's go back. All right, so here we have covered the 4 elements of a fable, and now a short task just to check comprehension. In this task, the students will have to match the word to the question. And you can do it together with the whole class, or you can make it more competitive. It's really up to you. So you are going to ask the question, and then your students will have to give you the word that matches the question. So for example, who are the main characters? Characters. Where does the story happen? And then you click setting. What is it about? This is the plot. And what is the moral of the story? It is the moral. It's a very short, simple activity which caters for your weak students if they're not sure about the elements of a fable. Okay, and now we are in the listening part of our lesson. Your students are going to listen to the fable called The Wolf and the Lamb. And as they listen, please encourage them to answer these questions, to take notes. Who are the main characters? Where does the story happen? What is it about? And what is the moral of the story? Go to the next slide. Here's the title of the fable, and you see the play button. When you click on it, you're going to hear me narrate the story. So let's just do that. We're not going to listen to the whole thing. I just want to show you how it works. So let's click on play. Once a lamb got lost in the forest and couldn't find a way home. He was alone, scared, and thirsty. All right, so the students listen to the story. Hopefully they take notes. And in this part of the lesson, after they listen to the fable, you need to retrieve the answers from the students. Who are the main characters? First, show them the question. Elicit the responses from them. If you see that they struggle, give them a clue by, clicking next. Next one, setting. Where does the story happen? Again, elicit it from the students. If they struggle, show the image, which is going to help them. Next one, plot. What is it about? It's probably the most difficult part or element because this is where they need to say what the story is about. So make it a bit easier for them. Give them some tasks. In my case, they need to put the words in the right order. Put the sentences in the right order. So here, you can do it together with the whole class. So we read the sentence. Sentence number 1, a lamb got lost in the forest and couldn't find a way home. And now they need to tell you what the second sentence is, the third one, and so on. So in this case, it goes like this. I'll go quickly. All right. And this part is for your weak students. I always try to use differentiated instruction in my lesson, so I take care both of my strong students and weak students. Strong students have good listening skills, they can speak quite well, but your weak students might want to listen to the story again. And also it's a good idea to show them the story so they can both listen to it and read. So in this part of the lesson, your students need to listen again, and then they need to be ready to retell the story. So you display the text and you click play. Once a lamb got lost in the forest and couldn't find a way home. He was alone, scared, and thirsty. All right, so after they have listened to the story, in this part of the lesson, you are going to ask 6 students to stand up. Maybe you have some volunteers. And these students will have to take turns to retell the plot of the fable. And these sentence starters are going to help them. So the first student is going to say, once a lamb got lost in the forest and couldn't find a way home. The next one could say, a wolf saw the lamb and he wanted to eat him. And so on. So these sentence starters are going to help them to collect their thoughts and put everything they want to say together. And the last student is going to finish the story. Okay, Now, the most important part of the fable and the lesson, moral. What is the moral of the story? So here you try to initiate a discussion with your students so they can tell you first what the moral of the story is. In this part, you engage their critical thinking skills. See if they can analyze the story. If you see they struggle with it, then on the next slide you give them choices. What is the moral of the story? A, the strong ones are always right. B, any excuse will serve a wicked person. And C, if you really want something, take it. So you can put them into teams, or you can have a whole class discussion, but they need to give you the correct answer, which in our case is B. Any excuse will serve a wicked person. And you can talk a little bit more about it. You can talk maybe about tyrants, and you can say that a tyrant will always find an excuse for his tyranny, or something like that. And this is our recap activity. What do you remember? So we summarize our lesson by asking question. You do it together with the whole class. What is a fable? How many parts does a fable have? What are the characters in a fable? What does the setting mean in a fable? What does the plot mean in a fable? And what does the moral mean in a fable, right? And then it's pair work or dialogue practice. You put them all together into pairs, and they need to ask and answer all this question in pairs. At the end of this activity, you can invite a few students to do role plays in front of the class. And this activity is optional. It's homework assignment. You can ask your students to write their own fable, or you can do it the next class. You can put them into groups, and it could be a group work, a group activity where in groups they write their own fables. And here's an example of a fable, of a very famous one. They can just follow this example and write their own. Okay, and this is the end of the class. I hope you enjoyed it, and remember that this lesson works together with the other lesson, the Raven and the Swan, and that's why I put these two lessons together in a bundle. You can find these two lessons in my store in Teachers Pay Teachers. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great day and happy teaching. Thank you.